Greetings, greetings, family. I am live, rising up, rising up. All of the Sister Shanice Show, massive. Just been getting some messages like, wait there, oh, come in on the pan line. And it's Wednesday evening tonight. And I'm just letting the family know that decided to take, just a few strongs. We say weeks, some of us, but we say strong. I say strong, taking a few strongs out because got to wheel and come again. Trying to decide on a new series of Sister Shanice shows. Welcome ideas and suggestions as well. I know that the first series that we ran, it was only supposed to be for about 6 to 8 strongs, but it turned out being about 16 months, and I've exhausted, the panel members and everybody and myself as well, to be honest, doing these lives, but absolutely have been enjoying them all the time. So I've kind of jumped on Rise Up Happy Companion. Yes, into the house. So I kind of jumped on, because in response to the messages asking where I am. So as you can see, not really dressed for the occasion, but hey, it's like got some time. So yeah, welcome your ideas and suggestions for the new series of shows on the Sister Shanice Show. What type of shows do you think I should be doing going forward? Which guests would you like me to try and reach out to and invite on my shows? Welcome suggestions and ideas. Got a new series of shows going on my radio show, and those shows are focusing on African history. And the show I did today, I think, went down really, really well. Lots of interesting historical information, African history information that was being shared. It was phenomenal. And if I stay on here long enough, I might start sharing some of that with you because wow, 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 it was really, really insightful. So who do we have logged on right now? We got a happy companion in the house saying, rise up, my brother. Rise yourself up. We've got Africa Reimagined in the house. Rise up, Sister Shanice, my elder in service, Ashe. And we've got humble Gambian in the house. Rise up, elder Gambian, humble Gambian. And we've got Ku Malanga in the house saying greetings. Rise up, rise up. Looking for suggestions and ideas from you as to, what sort of topics, what type of shows you would like me to be doing going forward. Let me see if I can find my notes as well, actually, from my radio show today and the books that was recommended. We had a few new callers and new listeners to my radio show today. Just in case you don't know, I do run a radio show. It's on a Wednesday at 10 a.m. GMT time, and it's on the radio channel galaxyafiwi.net. Not to be confused with the other one, which was the .com. This is galaxyafiwi.net. Okay, and it's a great radio station. There's lots of talk shows, lots of inspirational music shows on that channel. And my shows are on a Wednesday morning from 10 a.m. through to 1 p.m. in the afternoon. Always, always very deeply insightful and interesting shows. So, yeah, I had a really interesting discussion on my channel today. And the focus, as I said, was on African history. And one of the reasons, and important reasons why I decided that I'm going to start doing a series of shows on African history is because, there are professors in universities, can you believe it, here in the UKKK, that say and claim, that Africans don't have any history. Can you believe it? And the truth of the matter is that we have an amazing history, a phenomenal history. We really do as Africans, but it's largely hidden from us. And a lot of our history is actually hidden in plain sight. And so because we have such an amazing story, and because so many of us are likely to go through the schools, the colleges, the universities, and all the other educational institutions here and not learn anything about our amazing history, I'm actually focusing on African history on my Wednesday morning shows. And yeah, today, really insightful, really gripping. Got a number of books that people rang up and recommended, and I'll share those books with you in a short while. And you know, I was sharing with my listeners earlier today about a man called Hugh Trevor Roper. Now, this Hugh Trevor Roper, he's an English historian who was a Regius Professor of Modern History at the University of Oxford. And I thought, a Regius Professor? I've never come across this word Regius before. Let me look into it and see what it means. Anyway, I found out that this Regius means belonging to a king. He's a professor of a British university, and he holds this position, and it's a very highly prestigious position, and it's actually been kind of endorsed by the Queen herself. It's so high up. It's a position that many centuries ago it was started by the Scottish King James IV, who was a black king as well, King James IV, okay? And he was the first one to come up with this prestigious position. And it says, I found when I looked into it, that a Regius Professor is a university professor who has or originally had royal patronage or appointment. So this is like a royal appointment. And the first Regius Professor was in the field of medicine and was founded by the Scottish King James IV at the University of Aberdeen. So wouldn't you want to know what this Hugh Trevor Roper, this highly esteemed professor, has to say about African history? Well, in as 1963, as late as 1963, this British historian, Hugh Trevor Roper, went on record as saying, perhaps in the future, there will be some African history to teach, but at present, there is none. Only the history of Europeans in Africa. The rest is darkness. My. Such a lie. These people, for decades have just been claiming that we have no history because they've been whitewashing our history, they've been plagiarizing our history, they've been hiding our history in plain sight, and then they take up these prestigious positions in the university, call themselves professors, and then spout from their high heels that we have no history, when we are the originators of, we are history itself. Without us, there would be no history. Without us, there would be no civilization. Without us, they wouldn't even have a language. They wouldn't have an alphabet. They wouldn't have anything at all. Check out some of the posts that I've recently posted here live on YouTube. So, family, to those who's commented in the chat, rise up yourself, rise up Hazel as well, saying blessings, my beautiful royal family, rise up, rising up the red, rise up yourselves. Thank you so much. So didn't plan to stay, just jumping on to let you know that not doing the regular panel show tonight, probably won't be doing it for a couple of strongs, but should be back by the first strong in February, and looking for ideas and suggestions as to what the new series of Sista Shanice Shows could look like, okay? Let me recommend a few books that came up in my show today that was suggested that I recommend to those who are interested in studying African history, especially the history of us in places like Europe, because that's a history that tends to get overlooked, tends to be really cleverly whitewashed and plagiarized, okay? So I'm going to find my notes on that and give you the details of those books that you could be looking out for, okay? That will give you a lot of information about African history. So I've got some reading lists, reading books for you. Where did I put those notes? Hold on, it's coming soon, family. I have so many windows open, and but I am going to find them. Some great books talking about, the Africans during Victorian times, the Africans during the period of the Renaissance, Africans during Edwardian times. I mean, we have just been here we were the original people of Europe. We are the indigenous people of Europe, in case, some of you didn't actually know. And, we were just having that presentation and discussion on my earlier show, live and direct on the Sister Shanice show on radio. So, yeah, do check me out on Radio Family if you haven't already done so in the past. Would love to have your introduction. We'd love to have your participation on my radio shows. So yes, do check us out and keep it locked, okay? Got so much African history information that I'm like, you know what, I've just got to share all this information with my guests on the radio because, I'm just reading too much and getting too much information. And the time I spend putting it together as presentations to deliver as part of a series of workshops, I could be sharing it with the masses, even though it might be a little incomplete. So here we go. Right, found the list of books that were suggested on my show today. So one of the suggestions was Ancient and Modern Britons, Volume 1 and Volume 2 by David McRitchie. Another one was The Black Edwardians, between the period of 1901 and 1940 by Geoffrey Green. Another suggestion was The Black Poppies by Stephen Bourne. Another suggestion, Black Lives in the English Archives, 1500s to 1677. Another one, The Black Victorians, 1800s to the 1900s. Another suggested book for reading for those who are interested in the presence of us as Africans in Europe is The Black Africans in Renaissance Europe. That's another good one that's been recommended. Also recommended is Blackamoors, Africans in Tudor England and their present status and origin. Onyeka Nubia. Onyeka is Onyeka. Okay, let's see if I've got any other books that were recommended to read. One that was WhatsApp to me is 100 Amazing Facts About the Negroes. That's one that we ought to look at and take a read of as well. So that's just to name a few. And a book that I was reading from in my show earlier was The Black Star, The African Presence in Early Europe. That was a book by Rononko Rashidi. Also, The Negro Rulers of Scotland and the British Isles. That's going to tell you about loads of kings and queens that ruled England, Ireland, Scotland, and Wales. Kings and queens that have been whitewashed, that they're claiming as their own, but we're actually Africans. So lots of learning that's going to be going on. Okay, let's see what suggestions I've got, maybe for shows in the future here live on YouTube. So Sister Cherry B, Rise Up, says, I would be interested in hearing discussions about some of the men in our community fathering children outside of marriage and the lack of marriage in some of our community. What do you think, family? Is that one that you would like to, look into? Let us know if their demand and the interest is there. Thank you for that suggestion, Sister Cherry B. Much appreciated. Hazel is saying, Wonder Love of the World. Oh, no. Hazel Eugene, Wonder Love of the World. Oh, that's wonderful. What a wonderful title. Saying, my sister, rise up, my sister. Black at you. Okay. What's VOM? Red, boom, red, boom, boom, boom. Yeah. So, what suggestions do you have for the next series of Sister Shanice Shows live on YouTube? Really welcome, really appreciate love your suggestions. Greetings, beautiful sister queen from Birmingham, UK, soon to be Gambian resident. Woo, 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 woo. Ha. Make sure you introduce yourself to me if you buck me up, okay? Plans in motion. Good to know, Sandy's World. Looking forward to meeting you out here. And I'm sure Happy Companion is as well, who is another Gambian vlogger out here. So let me have your suggestions. As I said, I've just jumped on because I've got some messages asking, where are you tonight? It's 8 o'clock on Wednesday. We're used to you being live at this time and you're not live. So, need to get on and just let the people know that you're not coming live for a couple of strongs, but you will be back and I will be back and we will be back by the first week in February, okay? Just taking a little time out, putting up videos nevertheless, almost on a daily basis. So you can still go to the Sista Shanice Show channel and see the recent videos that are going up. I've got more videos that are going to be going up as well. When you watch them, please do share. I really need the shares and the thumbs up. YouTube is doing its best to work against me and to hold me down, but I'm going to be putting even more videos up than before. But need you to work double hard, please, to make sure that they get shared. So let me know your suggestions. Even when I've logged off, you can let me have your suggestions underneath this video in the description box. Looking for suggestions and ideas about the types of what the next series of shows ought to be focusing on. So we've got a suggestion from Sister Sherry B, who's interested in us having more discussions with some of our men, maybe the men who have fathered children outside of marriage and are not maybe thinking of marrying the mother of their children. Wagwan Dessa. We need to talk about it, she says. Is this something you agree with? Coach Sandy Wells says, I'd like to know the origin and history of the Mandinka language, and I'd love to learn. Well, I'd have to get some people on from the Mandinka community with that one. But yeah, it sounds interesting because, as you know, the origins of language globally emanates from Africa, stems from Africa. And our brother Jammers did a wonderful presentation on the origins of language and the origins of the alphabet. And I've just put it up on YouTube so you can watch that one afterwards. His talk, he graphically illustrates how language traveled from Africa, across the Mediterranean to Greece, to Rome, and how it's influenced and how the original African alphabet, was changed over time to resemble the alphabet that we've got today. And he shows us, the stages at which the alphabet changed as well. So the origins of everything, is in Africa. Rise up, Kwame Ose. He's suggesting, what about the black woman who allow it? Takes two to tango. Hey, he's already getting into the conversation. He's already getting into the discussion. Sister Sherry B, Kwame Ossi is saying, what about the black woman who allows it? Who allows, to bring a child into the world even though she's not married? I'll tell you what, Brother Kwame, if some of us was to wait for the man them to marry before we have children, we wouldn't have none at all. And that being said, so what's more, there's nothing more important in life, in my opinion, than bringing a child into the world. And obviously, ideally, that child deserves to have at least two parents and an extended family on both sides. So, we do need the man and the woman in the household to be bringing up our children because that really enables us to contribute towards bringing up, a formidable nation of children. Cherry B saying, Kwame, where are you going with that? Oh, I wish I could bring some of you onto the platform so we could have the discussion live, Yes. So maybe that's how I'll drop it. I'll just say, okay, guys, what should we discuss? And you make the suggestions, and then through Zoom, I just bring you on live and we just have the discussion and just roll with it. That's what we did last strong, impromptu, and it was so interesting. A lot of really interesting conversation and contributions from the audience last strong. So thank you for that. Kwame, let's wait for your answer before I come off. Where are you going with that, Kwame? So welcome your suggestions. What should we be discussing in our next series? What should I be focusing on? What suggestions do you have? Would really, really welcome your ideas and to know what your thoughts are on that. Okay, so even after I've logged off, please do make your suggestions in the description box for the next series of the Sista Shanice Show. What should we be focusing on? Okay, Kwame's saying it is not an accident that there are many single African women in the UKKK as compared to the motherland. Mm-hmm. It's not an accident. I agree. It's not an accident. And, the reasons behind it are bigger than most of us probably imagine. When we look at the role of the institutions, for example, how the institution is prepared to be the surrogate father, the one who's prepared to take care of the child only if the father's not present. If the father's not present, female, you can get a house, you can get a council house. If the father's not present, you can get extra money, from the welfare state. If the father's not present, we'll give you, extra help buying furniture and whatever else it needs. So what happens is, well, look like the state I gonna look after baby better than the father, or so some women thought. Decided to say toodaloo to some of the men. Maybe that's, can explain a small percentage of some of the single parent households. And they get their house or their flats and they're getting money in every month or so from the welfare state, not realizing that it was a strategy and a ploy by the welfare state to break up the Black family. That's a contributory factor, just a contributory factor, I think. More so, it happens more so in the West than it does on the continent. Also on the continent, remember, I think they've got their culture more. We are a people, those of us in the diaspora, who are here via the Caribbean after hundreds of years of having our culture being totally devastated, destroyed, and knocked out of us as a people. So, hey, that is a contributory factor as well. And there's so many other contributory factors, but, if we were to have a proper discussion, we would be coming, deep and correct on that. So, a few more suggestions. Business development. Global Green Book is saying one love sistering, one love Black at you. Kwame is saying legacy planning and wealth building. Okay. And Prep Mills is saying, greetings, Sister Shanice. Happy New Year, fam. Good to see you so well. Please keep on doing the good work. And thanks for encouraging our kings on your show. Thank you, Fab. Love the topics, interactions, and Histolawald. Not sure what that one is. That's a new one. You got me on that one. Kwame's suggesting also intergenerational wealth and the importance to the family. Okay, so maybe a series on intergenerational wealth planning, business development, legacy. It's all about nation building. Some good suggestions there as well. So it's about the family, generational planning. Coach Sandy is saying I'd also like to know what the individual politicians' views are regarding entrepreneurship for youths. What do they have in place to fund individuals, local Gambians, to start their businesses? Okay, yeah, that's a good one as well. Maybe we could, reach out to some ministers and individuals who are in key local government positions who ought to be working towards creating businesses and job opportunities for local communities. That's a good one. And Gebra is saying, blessings, beautiful. Oh, thank you, Gebra. Give thanks for your goddess works. That was deep show this AM. Oh, you caught the show. Oh my days. You know, what a show it was indeed. Rise up for being in the listening. And Kwame Ossi wasn't only just in the listening, he contributed towards the discussion as well. Thank you so much. Okay, well, I'm gonna love you all and leave you now. I just jumped on just to let you know that we're planning a new series of shows, and I welcome your suggestions and ideas. And all being well, we will be back from the first strong in February. Okay, hope to have the new series worked out by then. So keep your ideas and suggestions flowing, and we'll do what we can to make it relevant and do what we can to make it interesting for you. All righty. Thank you so much, family. As you can see, I'm in my house clothes here in the Gambia. I just jumped on to, rise up the family and to respond to the inquiries I was getting asking, where me there? Where me there? Rise up, rise up. More love, more power, more voodoo. Take care, family, and keep it locked next Wednesday, 10 a.m., live and direct on the Big G Galaxy Afiwi.net. You can catch me there doing my second show on Black History in Europe. Keep rising, family, each and every one of you. Voodoo.